History is a huge part of what I do, and of course Brazil does have a problem, which I think is a political problem with history and memory. I believe that the military regime is something that many people want to be forgotten, and I don't think it should be forgotten because we should learn from our mistakes.
Jeg acho que você devia estar aqui mesmo. Pra poder levar meu filho.
En af sidste års mest omtalte og prisbelønnede film lander nu i de danske biografer.
Você tem que estar sexta-feira cedinho lá.
Que ele é Armando?
Não. O nome dele é Marcelo.
Armando? Armando?
The Secret Agent, eller O Agente Secreto, handler ikke som sådan om en hemmelig agent, men den handler om en mand, der tvinges til at holde sig i skjul efter en konfrontation med en koldblodig rigmand, der har nogle morderiske venner.
Essa é a pessoa. Eu quero buraco na boca.
The Secret Agent udfolder sig under militærdiktaturet i 1970'ernes Brasilien, og frygt og mistillid gennemsyrer derfor også filmen, og er med til at gøre den så sindssygt spændende, som den er.
Tem matador me procurando, é isso que você tá dizendo?
Tem.
Og samtidig er det en thriller, der bugner af kærlighed til filmmediet, i det en stor del af historien udfolder sig i en biograf. Og så er The Secret Agent også et politisk ladet og skarpt portræt af et sort kapitel i Brasiliens historie, som mange brasilianere ikke føler, at der er blevet taget et ordentligt opgør med endnu.
Você me escafedia. É por isso que tem que defender o que tem ainda. Tu e o meu neto.
Og politik fylder generelt meget i instruktørens tidligere film. Kleber Mendonça Filho er en uddannet journalist, der i årevis arbejdede som filmkritiker, før han selv fandt sig til rette bag kameraet. Og herfra har han blandt andet lavet prisbelønnede og kritikerroste film som Neighboring Sounds.
E show do céu. Tá certo com segurança, é isso?
Se brincar, enxerga melhor do que o céu.
Gostei do cara.
Bacurau.
Por que vocês estão fazendo isso?
There's so much you can do with a knife.
Aquarius.
Todo mundo saiu de lá menos a senhora. Se a senhora pensar direitinho, a senhora tá sendo egoísta.
Ô, minha gente, o que é isso aí? O que é que vocês estão fazendo aí?
Isso aqui tá sob minha responsabilidade, é meu primeiro projeto e eu vou atacar.
Og senest altså The Secret Agent, som går i clinch med blandt andet social ulighed, magtmisbrug og korruption. Filho var selv et barn, da militæret stadig havde et jerngreb om magten i Brasilien, og han var også en udtalt kritiker af den bundkorrupte og fængslede ekspræsident Jair Bolsonaro. Den 57-årige instruktør er med andre ord en mand med meget på hjerte, som er fantastisk dygtig til at udtrykke de ting gennem de levende billeder.
I dedicate this film to young filmmakers. This is a very important moment in time and history to be making films. Here in the US, in Brazil, American young filmmakers make films. Thank you very much.
Og i hovedrollen finder vi den ligeledes politisk engagerede Wagner Moura.
Tá policial?
Eu não, sou policial.
Ó, pinta de policial, cara.
Não, sou policial.
Som allerede har vundet priser i Cannes og Hollywood for sin pragtpræstation i The Secret Agent.
Thank you very much.
Moura fik sit store filmgennembrud takket ved de to nervepirrende Elite Squad thrillers, som solgte rekordmange biografbilletter i Brasilien. I 2013 fik Moura sin Hollywood-debut i sci-fi-filmen Elysium.
You got something, didn't you?
What?
That's where they shut down the sky. Good. What is it? Wire transfers, corporate intel. You gotta have something big in there.
I fucking got nothing, man!
Men han er nok bedst kendt fra Netflix-sensationen Narcos, hvor Moura var fantastisk i rollen som den legendariske colombianske narkobaron Pablo Escobar.
Estás gastando mucha plata, Pablo.
Usted lava el dinero. Eso no fue lo que hizo Al Capone, pues.
Al Capone nunca tuvo tanto billete, Pablo.
Vi fik for nylig en kort snak med både Moura og Filho over Zoom, og vi var lidt nervøse på forhånd, og altså ikke kun fordi vi naturligvis beundrer begge brasilianere. And of course, I'm also nervous because I know that in the early 2000s, one of your early jobs was also you were on a television show as a reporter interviewing celebrities. So I know that my interviewing techniques will be judged, very much for these upcoming few minutes.
Oh, no, man. I mean, I wasn't interviewing any interesting so-called celebrities. I was interviewing politicians, boring socialites back in Salvador. So, no.
Not the same. No. So that's good. That could relax a little bit. But thank you for this amazing movie, this amazing performance. And I wanted to ask first, because I think the title of the film is incredibly interesting, because it does make you think at first, like, is this going to be like a James Bond-ish adventure, just from the title of it? Yeah. But you do very much play a character who has to keep a lot of stuff secret. I mean, everything from your real identity, your fear of the police, like in that brilliant opening sequence, and your disdain for the corruption of the police, your desire to see your son, to run away with him, of course. And so much of this you have to transmit to us, the audience, very subtly, truthfully, without telling it to us bluntly. So much is simmering beneath the surface. And I was wondering, as an actor, that must be such an interesting challenge to convey all this stuff, that's all these emotions and these feelings and all this stuff that's not being told to us directly.
Yes, it's very internal, right? Like everything has to take place very internally.
Yeah.
I think that's what the character wanted, and also I think that's what Kleber wanted, because I think when he wrote this character, he wrote it for me. He wrote it thinking about me, and he didn't want. I'm usually very explosive in the films, like Elite Squad.
Você não vai subir ninguém! Vai subir ninguém! Vai subir ninguém! Vai ficar todo mundo aí quietinho aí! Não vai subir ninguém!
Or Narcos. Yeah, even Civil War.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
Oh, sure, but we just try to stay out.
Stay out.
With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
There's a moment of explosiveness this is something that I relate to, because I react very explosively to injustices in my daily life, and I think that the characters are somehow an extension of myself. But in this case, Kleber wanted me to do something different. He wanted to. Of course, this is a character that cannot call attention to himself. He has to, lay low and has to protect that kid. It's a dictatorship. But also, I think there is something that Kleber wanted to see me doing that he hadn't seen it yet, and it's a character that's like, as it's based on mine and Kleber's perplexities over what was going on in Brazil under Bolsonaro. It's a little bit of me, but it's a lot of him as well. So the character is a lot of Kleber, and Kleber has a very low temperature. He's very stoic in the way he reacts to things.
É pra completar? Pode ficar tranquilo, tá tudo em ordem aí. É pra completar?
Rapaz. É pra completar, mas. O que é aquilo ali?
Isso foi domingo. Um infeliz aí veio roubar uma lata de óleo com a peixeira na mão. Aí Vundet, que é o menino que trabalha aqui à noite, pegou lá 12 e deu 2 TB. Um na caixa dos peitos e outro na cara e não levantou mais. Esse é um meliante, mereceu. Pode ficar tranquilo, sou cliente e é bem atendido aqui. Não tem nada a ver com isso. Viu? Sim. É isso mesmo. Vamos. Vou ter que afastar só um pouquinho pra gente acabar de apertar a bomba aqui.
Pode puxar. E tá aí desde domingo?
Tá. Peraí, viu que eu não digo tudo a história.
I was actually interested in hearing, for someone like me also who's been a film critic for a couple of decades, I'm so interested in hearing how your many years of work as a film critic, has that in any way informed the way that you work as a filmmaker also?
I'm sure it has, but I would never be able to give you a mathematical percentage or numbers in terms of how it helped me. I really think that if you work in a library for a number, sure, it will help you, become a writer or write about a few things. I think that film criticism made me, because that's what it does. It puts you in a state of mind of trying to understand what the cultural production is trying to say. Could be what's trying to say about people, about the human condition, about about politics, about plastics, about the United States, since we see so many films coming out of the US, about Denmark, So I think it was a very important part of my life, and I enjoyed being a journalist and writing about culture and putting myself in the position of watching 4 or 5 films a week and writing about maybe 3 or 4. But that's a part of my life that is gone now, and I made the transition in 2010. That was when I quit, and I always use the idea of quitting smoking. It's similar. You would stop, and then I went into pre-production for Neighboring Sound, my first feature. So yeah, I remember fondly. And I also I love what I do now, making films.
Yeah, and we love watching the movies that you make. And can I just say, I'm a big fan of you. I'm a big fan of you as a person, of your politics, of the movies that you make. So this is a huge pleasure. And I know you've talked before about wanting to make The Secret Agent also because of a feeling of Brazil dealing with a feeling of amnesia. That it's forgotten or at least suppressed a lot of the horrors of the military dictatorship. And I was wondering, do you feel that Brazilian film has, I don't know, a responsibility, and perhaps also how much of an ability does it have perhaps to help cure that amnesia?
Well, I don't ever set out to make a film thinking about a mission or a message. But it just happens that I think memory is a huge theme, and they seem to be on all of my films, even some of the short films. But they also seem to be in a film like Once Upon a Time in a Revolution by Sergio Leone. I mean, it is very much about history and about the Mexican Revolution, even if filtered through Sergio Leone and the spaghetti Western and Hollywood and Italian cinema.
You're a grand hero of the revolution now.
I don't want to be a hero. All I want is the money, the money.
But I think that history is a huge part of what I do, and of course Brazil does have a problem, which I think is a political problem, with history and memory. I believe that the military regime is something that many people want to be forgotten, and I don't think it should be forgotten because we should learn from our mistakes. And sure enough, recently Brazil did not let go of the attempted coup that took place 2 years ago by Bolsonaro and his cohorts. Everybody's in jail now, including Bolsonaro himself. So it feels as if we are beginning to learn, because Brazilian history is peppered with a series of coups d'etats, of attempts at subverting, the law and democracy. So I think it's always a great theme, and I think the image of someone trying to remember, an actor or an actress just staring blankly, trying to remember, is one great cinematic image. And this is something that I have done in almost every one of my films. And Wagner, he has a number of great scenes in Secret Agent where you can see the mechanisms inside his head because he's remembering something.
Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned Leone. I just thought the opening of this film was just the most perfect homage to the opening of Once Upon a Time in the West. It was equally as intense and had that same vibe and feel, and amazing.
The West, and also an Australian film called Waking Fright, which I love.
Yeah,
I had those films in my mind when I was writing and shooting the scene.
Você não sabe com quem você está se metendo, rapaz.
Homem dirá que Brasil melhor, com menos pirraça.
Esse cara, eu matava ele com um martelo.
Tu anda armado?
Não, mas eu sei usar um martelo.
Hi, Johan. How are you? Nice collection of Blu-rays and DVDs.
Thank you very much. It actually extends even further beyond the edges here of the frame. So I guess you can understand why I'm so jealous that you got to visit the Criterion Closet.
I'm in the Criterion Closet. It feels good and strange in a way because I have bought so many of these discs over so many years.
My name is Wagner Moura. I'm an actor and director, and I'm here kind of fulfilling a dream. So, should we start?
Brother, that's amazing. All DVDs and Blu-rays?
Blu-rays and 4K, it's just about 4,000 of them, including, of course, my Wagner Moura collection, of course, Elite Squad 1 and 2, Elysium, Civil War. There's something about having that movie in your hand, the whole ritual, the quality of it, everything,
How do you organize all that?
Alphabetically, or at least I try.
Alphabetical.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you do by the name of the film or the name of the director?
Scorsese knows. He knows shit.
Name of the film. Yeah. So looking forward to adding The Secret Agent to my library at some point, of course, as well.
That's very impressive. Congrats.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Wagner, and hope to talk to you again soon on a different movie. Yeah, for the next stuff in my library.
Yeah, that's an amazing library. Congrats. Have a great 2026, bro. Thank you very much.